Hi everyone, it's Dr. Nikki. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here I'm with Dedeker, and I'm sure some of you guys recognize her from Utopia. And you know, we really have come to love each other so much since Utopia, and we're both in LA for now.
Yeah.
And we see each other from time to time, and today is actually Dedeker's having a little going away party because she's off to travel. One-way ticket,
Crazy,
no time
quest, just everything. Yeah.
Amazing. And I want you to tell us a little bit about why you're doing this. What's inspiring you to go and travel with no plan on your own by yourself?
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I was raised thinking that traveling was not accessible. It was like too expensive. It just wasn't something you did until you were like old and retired. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I started traveling more and more and getting really addicted to it. And not just to, getting to see new places, but the actual like deep education that you get from hanging out in another culture, especially if you spend a vast amount of time living in another culture. Like it just so expands you as a human being. And I know you've traveled a lot.
Exactly, and I couldn't agree more. I always tell people one of the best educations that I ever received was traveling and spending time in third world countries, living with poor families, and seeing how other people live really changed my perspective on life, on what I think about the world and myself. And so I'm so happy you're doing this. What do you think so far has been one of the most inspiring places you ever went to?
Oh, inspiring. My goodness. Like, I can't pick one. I really can't pick one. Oh, my goodness. Well, okay, so I'll say maybe my first big trip where I had, like, no plan was when I went to Japan a couple years ago. And that was crazy, like, because I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I'm a Virgo. Like, I need to have everything planned out. And I actually booked that trip, like, I was going to be gone for, like, 3 weeks and just didn't have a plan. Like, had, like, a rail pass and had hotel accommodations for, like, my first night, and then that was it. And that was my first time getting to see, like, oh my God, like, I can do this. And I actually ended up in places way more fascinating and way more interesting, like doing things like couch surfing, like Airbnb, getting to actually stay with families and have dinner with, somebody who's actually a Japanese person, not just on the tourist track. And so that was kind of the big thing that really kicked me off to feeling like, wow, like I could do this. This is awesome.
That's so amazing. And I love what you say about having no timeline allows you to kind of experience the serendipitous moments of life, because when I decided to leave residency and take that one-way ticket to Europe, I ended up doing my yoga teacher training.
Yeah,
I didn't go on that trip. No, I was like, I don't know where I'm going to go. I'm going to start in Ibiza. I'm going to unleash all this stress. And then from there, I went to different parts of Europe, and I ultimately was like, well, I think I'll do a yoga teacher training. So when I did my yoga teacher training, it was never intentional. I just went with the flow of life. So that's what's so beautiful about traveling without a plan.
And so the thing is that I just got signed with a literary agency because I'm writing a book on polyamory in women. And so I'm really wanting to dig into that. It's kind of like field research as well, of being able to connect to other women in non-American culture and see what alternative lifestyles are like in especially other countries that are more conservative, things like that. And so that's kind of been my MO for taking this kind of big, long, grand vision quest, is to be able to give that time necessary to kind of do that project justice.
Amazing. And actually, that's one of the other things that I want to talk to you about today and share, is how you're such a bright, shining, powerful goddess, and in Utopia, you really stood in your power to really let everyone know that you are different, that you are polyamorous. And so, what does polyamory mean for those of watching that don't know?
Yeah. So for anyone where it's totally new for them, polyamory technically means having multiple relationships. And so that means that I conduct multiple romantic relationships at the same time, concurrently, with full consent and knowledge of everybody involved. So that means multiple boyfriends, sometimes girlfriends, things like that. Yes.
So it's really about experiencing love in every moment and not possessing someone and saying, like, you're mine only for no one else.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And definitely I found that this lifestyle, I mean, I've been in the lifestyle for about 5 or 6 years, and it is so, I mean, it drags every single insecurity you have, every single hang-up you have, and just drags it right out into the light. And forces you to work on it to become this much more expansive person who can connect to all these people without having to be possessive. And it really has taught me so much about how important it is and how precious and delicate of a thing it is to have intimate relationships, you know, to actually be vulnerable and open yourself up to people, not just one person, but multiple people, and how both terrifying and amazing that experience is.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, I know I shared on the show, even in my casting tape, that I really love connecting with people deeply. And even we connected really deeply in Utopia, where we spent time cuddling and really connecting and talking. And so I feel the same in the sense that I, too, really love to connect with men and women. And for me, it's not in a sexual way per se, so it's not romantic. But I know that when I'm in a relationship, that I really want that freedom. Yeah. So I almost find I'm like this. I'm right in the middle of like polyamory and monogamy.
You want to be like cuddly poly, basically. Like, just the right to cuddle whoever.
I feel that when we connect with other people and really feel love in our hearts, for us not to continue to engage in that way, to me just feels unnatural. Because for me too, it's not common that I meet someone that I'm like, I really want to connect with you and hug you and get to know you. And so I'm really so proud and happy that you are poly and proud, you know? Because I think that it starts to question this paradigm of what is a relationship? What does it mean to be in a relationship? You know, can I tell my partner, oh, you can't do this and you can't talk to this person? It's, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and those are things that people in the poly community are still figuring out, you know, like where are the boundaries between one relationship and another? And is it okay for one person to be able to say, don't talk to this person or don't date this person or not? You know, that's still a big exploration.
That's wonderful. And I know you have a podcast about polyamory. We can share that link.
Yes.
Wonderful. So we will share that with you so you can learn more about polyamory. And Dedeker, before we actually do want to ask you two more questions.
Okay.
One is, tell me a little bit about your self-practice. What keeps you shining so brightly in the world, that you're engaging in all these different projects? You know, you picked for Utopia, so you're obviously shining very brightly. So tell me.
Well, it's a mix. So for myself, definitely I have a daily meditation practice that I've been doing for about 2 or 3 years now. And, you know, when I first started incorporating daily practice, it was like life-changing, or at least total paradigm changing, you know. So I meditate every morning, and I try to at least once a year, maybe a couple times a year, go on retreats, silent retreats, just to kind of re-up every once in a while. And then, you know, outside of that, it really is my relationships. You know, romantic relationships are just so vital to us as human beings. Like, they are what sustain us. You know, we love that feeling. We love feeling special. We love feeling in love.
We're here to love and be loved.
Exactly. And so even just that, you know, like, there's a reason. I know there's a reason why I've been drawn to have multiple relationships, because they are so life-giving.
Yeah, that's so much more love that you're receiving and giving.
Yeah.
And that
I mean, it's a lot more work also, but
that just opens your heart that much more.
The benefits.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, I remember when we did meditation together in Utopia, and that was so powerful. So, you know, I've shared in so many videos about getting started in a meditation practice, and it really is key. And I'm so happy that that's one of the things that you really say is your pillar for
definitely
shining.
I could not go without it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the last question is, so what is your message as a goddess that you'd like to share with our viewers? Just a brief little bit to leave them with.
A message to share with the viewers. What's the message from the goddess?
Goddess, please share with us.
Oh man, be vulnerable even when you don't feel like it, and speak when you're not ready to. And I'm really terrible at that. Like, I'm so terrible at that, and that's why you know, it's becoming a mantra for me to do that, to just open up, even if it's gonna hurt, you know, even if there's nothing that's sure, even if you don't have a safety net, if you don't have a parachute, just open up. Throw yourself off the cliff and make your wings on the way down.
Oh, yeah. And when we're vulnerable to love, we really do experience that much more of an amazing life. Thank you. You're amazing.
You're amazing too. I'm so glad we could do this.
Me too. So we're going to get back to hugging and cuddling.
Yes.
So I just wanted to say bye. I will see you next time. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments or questions in